Boom. Okay, cool. Here we are. Oh, that was definitely a beep. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's continue talking about this. Cool. All right, so we were opening up Savannah's work, which was gardening my greenhouse. That's the name of it. Let's take a look at the final project sheet, which I assume is the GDD. Yep. That is about everything I'd expect. This is in extreme detail, which is the more detail you can have, the better, I guess. Sure, leans toward women. Most mobile games should. Mobile games are typically mid-30s to mid-50s. Mothers is the largest gameplay segment. Oh, okay, I'll put you down. I'll put you down. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah.
Bye, Mocha.
He's starting to scratch at me. He's like, Justin, let me down, you idiot. Like, okay. Platform iOS and mobile, cool. Or iOS mobile, not iOS and mobile, because that would also imply the Microsoft Zune and Android. Okay, cool. The main competition would be things like Egg Inc. and My Dear Cat, Guitar Girl, Secret Cat Farce. They all have typical upgrade and collection styles. The main thing that will set this game apart is that there's a more accessible theme in the gardening aspect. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Tapping screen. Yep, tap screen for ladybugs. Player starts a little green title screen. I can view it. Cool. Stats. Cool. The player will tap on the view of their greenhouse and on spawned ladybugs to gain currency. They can open and navigate the side panels to unlock and upgrade items. The player can also access various settings, instructions, and achievements. Cool. A little infographic, nice. Oh, for all the interfaces. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Main menu screen, I assume, is the start menu. So you might want to have, because every menu is a menu screen technically, so I might recommend changing that to start menu screen. Main game screen, cool. You can go to and from it. Game credits in terms of use, maybe they should loop back to menu screen either by having a back arrow here or having them both kind of feed back in so that I know, oh, okay, I can to and from. Unless blue represents an overlay, and then it's implicit that an overlay can be reverted back to the main lay. Okay, cool. Main game screen has a side panel. The side panel has these elements in it. I don't know why these two would have info, but the other ones don't. Maybe there's like a tutorial. I'd have to have clarity on what info is in that content, but maybe it says it up here or something. So if it says it elsewhere, negate that comment. But if it doesn't say it elsewhere, explain what info is here. Like, is it a tutorial? What does info mean in this context? Okay, cool. Because all UI, the point of all user interface stuff and all screen transitions and all flows is to present information. So having the word info inside of something, that's the point. Okay. So story, settings, reset, cool, all good. If all these things are inherently panels, then they're like overlays on top of a big panel, which is the orange one, then you're good. if they do kind of feel like new screens, and you'd want to have some type of show that they can navigate back to the old place. Okay. If possible, this goes for everybody. If we have a flow screen that can go, that can be expanded, you could have like pictures of each wireframe image or final mockup or final Unity screen inside of the flow chart, so you can kind of see how everything connects. Might be nice. Okay. Formal elements, single player versus the game, if it's true, construction, blah, 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 collection. Yep. Okay, so it's primarily a construction and a collection game where you're collecting resources and building things. Cool. Yep. Everything seems fine. Maybe pictures for the characters if you have them. I know that we didn't really get to characters in the development of this product because we had 10 weeks or whatever. But if you do have pictures of any of the characters, feel free to throw them in. In fact, I think you might have pictures of them. I think we did do some of the character stuff. Plants as well. Show off your stuff, strut your stuff. You did the art. If you have characters and you're in the character section, why not? And then like one image here, and then if you have more assets, put those in the art section below of same characters. Like then you can go crazy. But each one of these, maybe a little descriptor for who they are. This is Alex. Alex is a intern at the, what's the one that's by Pennsylvania, in Pennsylvania, the Longwood Gardens. She's like an intern at Longwood Gardens and always wanted to have her own.
I remember that place.
Yeah. My wife, that's her favorite place to go. Her family, so they used to go every year until obviously last year. So yeah, cool. Story, yeah, cool. Media list should have the media in it. I get that this, when it's just a text, it gives you like, oh, this is all the stuff I need to work on. But now that you've worked on it, you can show it off as well. Show off your work in the doc. Make the executive go, wow. Make them be Owen Wilson and go, wow. Okay, gameplay clip in a PDF. I'm a little. Oh, okay. I was like, how does that work? Is a Adobe PDF that much of a virus that it can also have videos in it? I think it can actually. Okay, let's look at the gameplay. So this is an idle game where they can collect resources over time. So you'll see with each tap they do, they're technically getting more of this, but they should have reset their value before there. So you could appreciate the number going up. They purchase plants to increase their seed output. When you get to certain levels of characters, you can like level up each character. You'll get little pop-ups that give you rewards when you get to certain levels. You can have boosts that give you a temporary increase in resource output of like ladybugs or whatever. Oh, I think I just saw she leveled up this pot hanging planter and it gave her a planter. I don't know what this that symbol is there. Oh, I love this. That's cute. I don't think I saw that before. Okay, so my feedbacks. Sure, when you go into my greenhouse, maybe a little passive background image that's not more than a solid, that's more than a solid color in the background. I don't know, something that makes it feel more cohesive. This one almost feels right with the Arial font. I don't know if I want a custom font for here, but if you find one, feel free to put it in. But it almost feels right because like I feel like idle games do this more. Cool. How did you get to the info of each one? Let me look at that. Oh, you click on the picture itself. Not sure if that communicates. You might want to have a little eye on the image so that you know, oh, I can tap this. Otherwise, it doesn't super communicate. Okay, same thing for the characters. They have little descriptions already. Put them in that doc. Get them in that doc. I don't mind having the crazy numbers because like I feel like idle clicker games do give you the crazy numbers. Little tight. That text is a little tight on these buttons. Maybe I'd add some padding in there. Overall, everything's very stylized. The UI looks pretty polished in terms of like the fold out and all that stuff. That feels nice. In a perfect world, you'd have a little animation, but you know, you're one person. Cool. Actually, didn't read this yet. Is the intent that this would get added onto over time? That's a question I have. Like, as you do things, would more things appear in here, or is this just the story? Oh, the header's getting cut off by the text. I would fix that. Oh, never mind. I'm a liar. This is an overlay on an overlay. And again, perfect world. You click on, oh, I see. Okay, so there's entries, and each entry would show a different text. Okay. Oh, I'll see you, Kenny. Have a good one. I'm glad you had a good time. Okay, perfect world. You click on it, and it comes up, and it feels good. Something like that. Cool. Everything seems pretty consistent. Only other thing I might say is, oh, oh, by the way, I saw, yep, we have that animation in now. We were trying to think about how would we have when you tap in a location, how do we get the little effect to appear where you've tapped? And I think we also needed a little effect for when things appear so that like we notice them. Because I didn't notice all the sprites popping in, but I know that they did. I just wasn't paying attention because I was looking at the button. So like, I know those overhead ones appeared. Don't you wish you had a money boost button in life? So boom, they're all there. Maybe like something that pops it so we see it more. Is this a custom font? That's a question I have. If this is a custom font, it doesn't look like Arial. It looks more like Helvetica doesn't have. Does this look like Helvetica? No, I don't think Helvetica has those A's. But anyway, whatever this is, if you can find the TTF of that font, maybe work that into the rest of it so that it all feels the same. Unless it is the same and I'm a liar. Cool. That's fine to be its own font because it's obviously supposed to be handwritten. I dig it. Everything's good. You know, I know this was a big project for you because it was you know, one person trying to make a whole idle game, and I think it turned out great. And you went through like 40 tutorials, and that's more patience than I'd have. So good on you. I hear all the sound effects happening. So those were my only real comments. Were the oh, I noticed one other problem. This doesn't look like it's sliced quite right. So it gets a little warped, unless that's what the texture looks like. If the texture is supposed to be like that, cool. But if it's supposed to be a perfect rounded edge, then you might need to slice that texture a little differently, like how that's sliced. But yeah, my only real comments. If you want a custom font, use it. I almost feel like these are two different font sizes. Actually, it looks like a picture, doesn't it? Maybe it's just a picture limited. Maybe a little effect for when things appear so that I notice them and it's fun. Maybe add some padding to the buttons so that they feel better. I don't know if that's trying to communicate something to me. I don't know if this is a button or something, so think about what that should look like. And if that's just an icon for the game, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Something it's not jiving right with me if it's supposed to mean something. Because I do see it up here too. So I see that's like almost looks like a badge, but I know it's a flower. It almost looks like those like award ribbons that you get too. If it's just supposed to be like a flavor to borders of windows, maybe have like you have two of them here, maybe also have like two of them here, like one there and one there. So you go, oh, it's a border, and then maybe have two more down here, and like everything's kind of filled inside of it. Something to think about. Food for thought. These are default assets to have the square edges. I can walk you through adding a custom like little square that has rounded edges, so you can make things feel a little more not generic, like not just default boilerplate Unity stuff. Totally fine though, not necessary. Because all this stuff just feels so custom and nice. Any comments from the class? I'll bring this over here. Feel free to type in messages or anything. Those are my notes. That's all I got. I forgot to look at the store page to see if an icon was created. Let's look at the store page. Oh, that's a good icon. I feel like when it's small like that, it might not read as well. But it's close. That's really close. I wouldn't know how to change it. I think it looks good. Maybe ladybug or flower. Or make the ladybug bigger? I'm not sure. Oh, you love the icon? Yeah, I think it looks good. I agree, Lexi. It looks pretty dang polished. It's really just animations now, which you know that comes in the year 2 of development, not week 13. So yeah, everything's looking good. Sure, yeah, you got your screenshots. You need the stars for the reviews to really sell it. I need those stars. But okay, yep, everything's looking good in the video. Everything's looking functional. Those minor comments I made are the critique. The icon, I don't think it needs to change, but if you were to change it, two things of note. The leaves seem to be a different art style from these two. So like, see how this has a dark outline and stuff, and maybe consider adding a dark outline to the flower. Maybe not the ladybug. Yeah, that's a tough one. Just something to think about. Food for thought. My comments are, oh, I don't know if it super works as well when it's the size of what it would be on my phone, like that big. It needs a hero. Is the flower the hero, or is the ladybug the hero? And by hero, I just mean like the thing that's biggest and like is the focal point. To me, the little ladybug boy is the focal point. Yeah, think about it. That's my critique, and I will stop recording for this. I'll keep recording because I'm going to close out the class. So for next week, we have the kind of part 2 of this submission you did this week. You're basically going to do the same thing, except you're going to add on, I'll stop sharing my screen, I think, there. Same thing, but instead of what you did this week, it's me this week plus a little more. So whatever critiques I gave this week, see if you can work in a few. I'm not saying work in all of them, work in what you can, because you know this is supposed to be your wrapping up week, you have finals, whatever. Don't stress it. All your games turned out fine. But if there's those little things you can add to make it work, do it, and then give me the final deliverable. Make sure it has the video, the product page with any of my comments, the game has any corrections I might have made, or like things that you want to do, like, oh, we should relay out some of the levels or re-keyframe some of the music notes in both the music games, or custom fonts. I'm happy to walk with people to show you how to put in custom fonts, all that type of stuff. Any of that, totally cool. Zip it all up. The product page, the video, a version of the project, and if possible, if you can, don't stress it, a built version of the game for Windows so that I could open it up and play it. I can obviously just open up your Unity project as well, but if you want to go through the experience of learning how to make the Unity build work, I think only Alex's group really did that so far. But I invite everybody to give it a shot. It's a thing, it's a process. So if you want to look at the process, go for it. It can be miserable, but usually it's a click of a button until it's not. But go for it. Those 4 things. And yeah, that wraps up the class. I thought this one went really well. It has its ups and its downs. I know that it was really difficult with the pandemic and not being able to have access to the resources you wanted. And like people's devices crashing. And I think Melissa lost her charger, or her charger stopped working at one point, which of course, during
The finals curse.
just like stake in the
Unity hated
laptop.
me for like 2 weeks. Like my technology was like, first Unity was broken, then my computer, it just didn't want me to get work done those 2 weeks.
Right. I think Belinda's computer just stopped being alive at one point.
Oh no.
it's like everybody had technical problems. Stuff happens. I know that stuff happened, but I hope that you're walking away from this class with a different perspective on game development. I know that I'm less artsy, but I think that we all went through the whole process of making a game together, and everyone ended with something that they can show and that they can be proud of. I think it turned out pretty good. And I hope that this can be contributed to your portfolio material. And know that you always have me and all those the people I had the other week, like week 7 or whatever, Annie and Dan, and who else did I bring? John. All of them are your resource. And if you ever need anything, you can reach out to us. But with that said, I can close out the class. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about or have questions about? Feel free. We've got another 10, 15 minutes. Go for it.